how do you become interesting? What determines, say, if you're talking to someone, okay, here's the situation. You meet someone you don't know. What determines if what you're going to say is going to be interesting or not? Yes. Be interested in what you're saying. So this is key. Whether you're meeting someone new or you're already in a conversation, it's just really boring, start owning what you're saying. And this means talk about shit that you like. If you're someone who's, for example, into mathematics, talk about that. That would actually be the most interesting thing you can say. If you're someone who's just nerding out at home, like 2 + 2 = 4, fuck yeah. And you're just like, that's my vision, like, that's what nerding out is to me, like literally just writing it out =4 and like pat on the back. If that's you, talk about that. That should be the first thing that you say. It's like, hey, nice to meet you, I'm Julien. Hey, did you know 2 + 2 = fucking 4? Even if they know, they're gonna get drawn in. Even if they know, it's like one person's surprised, like, oh, I did not know. You know, even if they know, they're still going to get sucked in because it's what you're into. Okay? Now, beyond that, okay, start nerding out, start owning it. Also, start living a more interesting life. You got to break the fucking routine. Right now, if you think your life is boring or you're like, you know what, there's nothing interesting about me or what I do, switch it up. Why are you not living a more interesting life? Right? That should be the question. It shouldn't be like, well, can I learn about more topics or things to say? No, it's like, live a more interesting life. And immediately when you hear this, you're probably thinking, oh, that's expensive. I'm too poor to live an interesting life. Right? That's actually the thought. I'm too poor to live an interesting life. What? No. In reality, and this is big, by the way, the less money you have, the more interesting the life, in a way. The crazier the life, in a way. Okay, I always take it back to if you're traveling and say you go to Europe. You're like, you know what, I'm going to go to Europe for 2 weeks, go on an adventure. And say there's two people. There's one who has a lot of money and one who doesn't. Which one would have the more adventurous journey in Europe? The person who's broke as shit, takes the plane where there's like 2 layovers, sitting in the back and just like, you know, going on the fucking bus at the airport trying to find where they're going to stay, staying at a shitty ass hostel with like 8 other people. Or the other person who's like, you know what, first class. Fuck, not just first class, I want like the first row, like I want the whole first class just for me. I arrive there, I want a fucking limo driver and I want to stay up at the penthouse of this place. Okay, that's cool. It's very comforting, it's very convenient, but which one makes for the better story? Do you really have to think? Is it like, oh, you know, those beds were very cushy at that nice hotel? No! It's the person who's like, oh man, and I got in this place and it was crazy and disgusting in the hostel, and oh my god, this one person in the hostel shat the bed and all this shit. Like, way more interesting story.